Hello, Bishop Walsh here. I forgot my fancy clicker, but I just pulled over on the side of the road here in downtown Gaylord. You can see behind me, they're going to be beginning Alpenfest, and they have the Ferris wheel and the other carnival rides, and hope everybody comes down and has an opportunity to enjoy the festivities, part of the summer fun here throughout the Diocese of Gaylord. A few things to check in on. We want to say to Bishop Zielinski, congratulations, and we're so grateful for the Holy Father bringing you closer back to the home Diocese of Gaylord. You couldn't have been any further away, perhaps, I guess, in Alaska for the last 8 years or so, but he'll be named the new bishop of the Diocese of New Ulm in Minnesota. So we wish Bishop Chad all the best. He's native son of the Diocese of Gaylord and has served the church in so many capacities and has served our country as a chaplain to the military. Grateful for his service at so many different levels and wish him all the best as he continues to serve. A couple of just random things I was thinking about this past weekend. There was the big ticket event. I had a chance to stop over there, and there was a lot of excitement and enthusiasm, the way that our Christian faith is expressed through song and through fellowship. So I think it was a good opportunity to see that event, and a number of our parishioners that I ran into there, and just a lot of people from the area. Some people make it a whole weekend to celebrate that. And we did help sponsor that once again this year, making a contribution for the big ticket. Next week we have the Feast of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And that is an important celebration, as we know, because that is the patronage of our cathedral under Our Lady of Mount Carmel. I've always had a devotion to her. That was the name of one of the parishes that I was the pastor of right before coming to Gaylord. And I've always appreciated how Carmelite spirituality has been so important to so many of our saints. And certainly St. Therese, the Little Flower, is a popular saint that is that we can turn to for her intercession. So let's remember next week to pray in a special way for our diocese under the patronage of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And lastly, I just wanted to spend 2 minutes or so on the Synod on Synodality. I want to thank Father Matthew Fuggerelli and before him Andy Moe for synthesizing all of the information that had come to us through the Synod on Synodality process. As you know, many of the areas around the diocese, we're trying to organize events so that, or get together so that people can have input, and then going beyond that, the parish boundaries, to trying to reach out to others who may have been disenfranchised or anybody who had anything to say. We had an opportunity to listen. And we finally are at the conclusion of that process, and Father Matthew was tasked with synthesizing it and putting it together so that it's one document that we will send to a regional representative in Michigan, and then that is going to be sent to the USCCB and synthesized even further, and then the USCCB will send forth a report to the Vatican as part of the synodal process. So here's the conclusion that Father Matthew wrote, and I think it's very good. There's a lot that is in substance prior to this, but I thought this is helpful for us to reflect on just as a conclusion to the Synod process. Perhaps the clearest message to come from the Synod process is that for several years, the Diocese of Gaylord has found itself in maintenance mode. Numbers of faithful have been dropping, the clergy shortage has grown more acute, and there has been a significant turnover of bishops. All of these factors have led to a very real taxing of increasingly limited resources. Clergy have had to wear multiple hats or shepherd many in diverse parishes. Dwindling numbers have overwhelmed even the most generous of volunteers who have experienced burnout. This resulted in a situation in which several people either abandoned the practice of the faith or else reduced their faith to fulfilling the Sunday obligation. Because of this, oftentimes, even where attempts were made to offer more programs or services, they did not achieve their goals. This also resulted in cliques forming, which did not help, but being welcoming to newcomers. More to the point, oftentimes people confuse the physical church with the parish, and as a result, there is a sense in which the parish was more of a museum than a living, breathing portion of the people of God. The good news in all of this is that the synodal process has begun the process of self-examination. And throughout the Diocese of Gaylord, there has been an honest evaluation of the limits of the past and a real desire to be more open to the designs of God and to the inspirations of the Holy Spirit. The excitement, notwithstanding the challenges, is palpable. The faithful of the Diocese of Gaylord want more from their church, but they also recognize that they are essential to the growth. Most especially evident is the growing desire to be fed by the liturgy, fed by the scriptures, and fed by our doctrines and traditions. In short, there is a great deal of energy just waiting to be harnessed into a potent force for evangelization. So kudos for that synthesis and summary. It acknowledges the challenges that we face, but it also really names what is the energy that we can generate from coming together for the force of evangelization that is always essential and needed in our church. So let us be part of that as we move forward to be church. And I want to thank you for checking in, and God bless you.